Alright, so I'm playing through Yakuza 1 on the PS2 using the English translation patch. I got like halfway through I got like halfway through the game, but I decided to actually restart and be more thorough this time and kind of really just take it in, take my time. So this is me in chapter 2. And so I'll make a few basically gameplay videos as I make my progress through this, just highlighting a couple things that I think fit the theme of the channel. One of said things being that, like, there's a few of these games where, like, you can walk up to, like, a counter with some books on them, and there'll be something you can read. And this one, there's literally only one as far as I've seen. I know 5 has a bunch of like manga you can read, but yeah, let me just show you real quick what exactly is going on. So you walk up to this, and then you can see that most of them are blurred out, but there's one in particular that is like available to look at. And then when you click, when you press to look at it, it's got the samurai. Yep. So, real simple. This one's only 3 pages. Yeah, that's all. And as far as I can tell, this is the only one in the game that I managed to find. If there's more, I guess I'll be more thorough this time going through the game, and I'll see if there's anything interesting else. Yeah, but yeah, just to quickly talk about this. So we can go through this page by page. So let's go through another. So, obviously, as you can see, this is a real person. One Miss Yukiko Goto, which, as it turns out, is a pretty common name. Second page, I think that looks like an umbrella with like some clothes hanging off the side. It's kind of unclear what exactly is happening in this, but like obviously it's a photography shoot. And then you get one more picture, which is much more in line with like photography style thing. This one clearly has a kind of theme with standing between the 2 boats. And then you also get some information up top. It says profile. It seems to be she was born May 7th, 1985. I'm assuming when I say 60 centimeters is referring to height. And then Japan being Japan. 3 sizes. So yeah, simple enough. Cute. Yeah. So there's more to talk about with this. Trust me, I can make this go. So while I do that, I'm gonna go to the second one. I like that one the most. So like I said, this is a real person. A real person with a common name. So if you look up Yukiko Goto and you just look up the name, you get so many results who don't. In fact, the first result that I got when I did look it up was a apparently a idol who was born in 1975, not 85. So I kind of did a little bit of searching through the results and wasn't getting anything that clearly linked back to this person specifically. Then I had a realization. What if I add, I'm not sure about the pronunciation of this, but Yukigoto gravure, Garvure, as in the name for the profession of people who do these kinds of like photo shoots or videos or things like that. Not fully blown adult actors, but like models, more so. And then that one, which I typed into Akosia, by the way, I do not use Google. That one, at least with the search I got, the first result actually returns the exact video which this photo shoot is from. So that's good to know. Now, again, finding any more information, yeah, but like this search is much better. Like, for example, some of the results say Sabra. So that magazine is also a thing that comes up. Again, finding any more specifically relating to this person is kind of difficult. Like, I'll link my results so that you can like go through it yourself and see if there's any more. I will also link the video because yeah, that's the only real direct link I got off of like reference I got off of looking up this person. Now, an interesting thing about the Yakuza series as a whole is they will use real people, like real models, as characters in their games, going all the way back to here in the very beginning, and like reference real things from time to time. Where this is basically most relevant, I should say most prominent, there's examples in recent games, like for example, Kei-san, her appearing in the recent games. That stuff like that too. Literally, my first video on this channel is as Gaiden and doing the stuff with Kaname Ai, which by the way is also an unfortunate name to try to look up because of the freaking visual novel kind of style game, the adventure game, but side point. But yeah, Yakuza 0, which yeah, like most others, is the first game that I played in this series. Also, you start playing that game, a lot of the side activities in that game involve like real models and stuff like that you can look up and you're given their names. And those searches can lead to some interesting results. Now, in that case, those results can lead to stuff that's like a lot more adults. But like, same idea here. We same idea here. We respect sex workers in this house. Of their various varieties. But yeah, no. So yeah, I'm gonna be making more videos off of Yakuza 1 and then also Yakuza 2 on the PS2. I will link to the English patch that I am using in the description, and also just for the sake of accessibility, because we're talking about a PS2 game, where you not only need to get access to that PS2 game, but you also then need to apply an additional patch over it just to adequately play the game like in English with the Japanese voices intact and like content, etc., etc. Understandably, a lot of people are not going to do that, especially if you don't have access to a Windows computer. that you can play games on. So yeah, if you do ultimately just want to start with Yakuza 0, that is also a great recommendation of a game, obviously. But like, I do want more people to start with the original PS2 game and play those PS2, play Yakuza 1 and 2 on the PS2, and then go into having much better movement and like the experience with 3, and like feel the progression of the series as it goes on. I very much think that going the direction that like, or most people do, where you start with 0 and then go into the Kiwamis, has problems. Like, but we could talk about all that another day. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this quick little video that I decided to do, where I essentially just looked at 3 pictures. Or essentially just show some pictures on the screen. I've just been lingering this while I talk. But yeah. So y'all have a good one.